When the sun goes down, the Gold Coast lights up. We're talking a pumping nightlife of cocktail bars, dance clubs and packed restaurants. But a cemetery? Yep, you can add that to the list. It seems on the Gold Coast, even the resting place of the dead can be a pretty lively place. Boo! I've summoned a few friendly bodies to keep me company on tonight's Lantern Ghost Tour of the Southport Cemetery. The mysterious lady with the light is our guide to the spirit world.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Not yet.
Well, whether you believe in ghosts or not, some cemeteries aren't that haunted. Others have an abundance of restless spirits. 5,000 souls lie within these grounds, all with a story to tell. Shh. Listen. Visitors have reported hearing sad, slow footsteps dragging behind them as they enter through the cemetery gates. Welcome to the place everybody's dying to get into. I'm your ghost host, Kimber. Follow me this way.
Well, if that doesn't get you in the spirit for a fright night, nothing will. First up, we're visiting the oldest part of the cemetery, where graves hark back to the 1800s.
Right now, we're standing above what could be the original, legal burial of our very first resident. His name was Job. Job liked to have a beer or two with his mates down at the pub, and he rode a bicycle to get there. One night he was a bit drunk. His friends all said, "No, you can't ride the bike home." He said, "Of course I can, I'm fine." He said, "If I'm not sober enough, may I be struck down by lightning." And guess what? 3 days later, Job was killed by lightning and is interred here now at the Southport Cemetery. In Victorian days, what they would do is the family would hold a wake, which went for at least a week before they buried their loved one. And the final step before burial was to have a photograph taken. Now, if you were wealthy, you could pose and pay the money to have your loved one posed in positions where they actually looked like they were still alive. Now, I just happen to have some Victorian death photographs with me. I think we might start with you.
Yeah.
Have a look at some of these. Now tell me, if you can, which one is the deceased?
Wow, is it the little boy?
It is indeed. But sometimes the expressions on the living could be just more spooky and scared than the ones that were dead.
Enough creepy tales from the crypt. Time to scare up a few ghosts of our own. From divining rods to electromagnetic field readers, there are loads of ways to connect to the other side. Even an ordinary smartphone can capture the supernatural. So have you had any really creepy experiences here or stuff that you found hard to explain?
Oh, yeah, actually several times. One that stands out is the photograph that we've captured of what we like to call the grieving nun. When you zoom in, you can see facial features, you can see like a nun's habit over the top, and she's clearly grieving over a gravesite. She's always in the same part of the cemetery.
You'll need nerves of steel and a sense of humour to explore historic Southport Cemetery with Lantern Ghost Tours. Tours happen every Saturday night from 8 p.m. And here's a hair-raising deal if you're an RACQ member. Book online and you'll enjoy discounted ticketing.